Well, hey folks, welcome back to the channel. And there's a movie I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time, but I hadn't because it is really a copyright nightmare. If we're being perfectly honest, most of the acting in the movie isn't that great, and the story isn't that good either, but the music is beyond outstanding. And if you know anything about YouTube, music is a problem. So how do you talk about a movie that's basically a musical with one of the most iconic soundtracks ever, while also avoiding copyright issues? Well, that's a problem I'm going to have to figure out today so that I can talk about Now, for anyone who hasn't seen Purple Rain already, or anyone interested in watching it, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the story. Purple Rain follows the kid. He's a talented but troubled musician played by Prince as he navigates the Minneapolis music scene. The kid is the frontman of his band, The Revolution, and performs at a legendary First Avenue nightclub, but his life is far from perfect. He's dealing with a turbulent home life, a rival band led by Morris Day called The Time, and a bubbling romance with Apollonia, a singer with dreams of her own. The film is a semi-autobiography of Prince's own life, blending drama, music, and raw emotion. The kid's journey is about finding his voice both literally and figuratively, as he struggles with self-doubt, family trauma, and the pressure to succeed. The climax of the movie features an unforgettable performance of Purple Rain, where the kid pours his heart out on stage, solidifying his place as a musical genius. Now, like I said, the plot of Purple Rain isn't going to win any awards, but there's a whole lot of talent behind this movie. First, let's talk about the star of the movie, Prince. The soundtrack for Purple Rain would be his 6th studio album, and I could seriously spend all day talking about his previous work, but I'm going to try not to get distracted. As a young black kid in 1984, the only person bigger than Prince was Michael Jackson. His star power alone made this movie worth watching, and the fact that his new album was the soundtrack for the movie, and also one of the best albums ever, puts this film in classic status. The album/soundtrack sold somewhere around 25 million copies worldwide, 13 million of which were in the United States alone. Prince was already huge before Purple Rain came out, but this just made him a megastar. Another lead in the movie was Morris Day and his band The Time. Now, there's a really deep rabbit hole I can go down about Morris Day and The Time and all the talent that Prince discovered over the years, but I'm going to keep this short. Prince's deal with Warner Brothers allowed him to recruit and produce artists under the label. This led to the formation of The Time, featuring Morris Day. Super producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were two of the original members. They left the band in 1983, before Purple Rain was made. Morris Day and The Time were already pretty famous before Purple Rain, and the movie would only solidify that. Morris Day plays the rival band member to the kid, and he's basically the film's bad guy. He tries to undercut Prince's character every chance he can. Prince's love interest in the movie is played by the beautiful Apollonia. Any dude, young or old, who saw this movie back in the day absolutely had a crush on Apollonia. I mean, I also had a crush on Sheila E. and Vanity, all three of which were discovered by Prince. The dude knew how to pick them. Apollonia is also featured in one of the most iconic scenes in this entire movie, and that was really her jumping into that cold water. No stunt boobs involved. Apollonia would have a semi-successful career of her own as part of Apollonia's 6. Prince's father in the film is portrayed by Clarence Williams III. He's a great actor, and I could spend a lot of time talking about him. Earlier, when I mentioned that the acting in the film isn't that great, the exception is Clarence Williams. Finally, the film was directed by Albert Magnoli, who's best known for directing this movie and his music video output. He also had uncredited work on Tango and Cash, and this entire movie does have kind of a music video feel to it. Now, besides Prince, we need to talk about what might be the real main attraction of this movie, in my opinion, and that's the soundtrack and musical performances. Now, as long as I can avoid the copyright police, I'm going to try to talk about most of the songs in this movie. The film begins with the pretty awesome Let's Go Crazy. The song gives you a really upbeat start to the film, while also introducing you to the nightclub where most of the film takes place and the main characters. This opening performance is 7.5 minutes long. Keep in mind, this entire movie is an hour and 51 minutes. Around 2 minutes after that performance, Morris Day and The Time get on stage to perform, To this day, I bob my head to this song. I can only imagine what it would have been like in 1984 to be in a club and have Prince and Morris Day in the Time going back to back. The next song you get a good listen to is during the iconic bike ride with Prince and Apollonia, while Take Me With You plays in the background. This scene occurs just before the iconic scene of Prince tricking Apollonia into jumping into a frigid lake. The next memorable song that shows up in the movie is a performance of Beautiful Ones. I mean, damn, how can you not love this movie? I mean, this is the perfect movie to have on when you're doing something else, like cleaning the house, making a big meal. You don't actually need to watch it to enjoy it. And a quick side note, I actually think the remake of Beautiful Ones with Sisqó and Mariah Carey is excellent. That might be an unpopular opinion, but so what, fight me. The next song to get featured in the film is the legendary When Doves Cry. This song was a smash hit at the time, with a great music video to go along with it. And this song comes along at the perfect point in the film, right in the middle, and just before Prince's memorable and hilarious spin move.
After me, motherfucker!
Next up is one of those great Prince songs that you don't really hear people talking about a whole lot, but I absolutely love it. Seriously though, how can you not like this? If there's one aspect of this movie that doesn't really work, it's the fact that the club owner, Morris Day, and a few of the other actors are supposed to act like Prince's music is somehow not good or not good enough for the club for some reason, but it just doesn't hold up because the music in this movie is so great. So it just seems really strange. But anyway, Prince follows up Computer Blue with the always nasty Darling Nikki.
I knew a girl named Nikki, I guess you could say she was a sex fiend.
Apparently Prince met her in a hotel lobby masturbating with a magazine. Well, that's the story. Next up, Apollonia 6 gets a chance to perform Sex Shooter. Sex Shooter is one of those tracks that even if you didn't know it was produced by Prince, you say, damn, that sounds like a Prince song. After a few scenes with Morris Day being a drunk asshole, the drama between Prince and Apollonia, you see the dramatic aftermath of Prince's father attempting to take his own life. Now, for whatever reason, there's a chalk outline on the ground as if his father died. But he's clearly alive when they take him out of the home, and if you listen carefully, you can hear one of the paramedics say it's a suicide attempt. But like I said before, the script of this movie isn't going to win any awards. Next up is another upbeat performance by Morris Day and the Time. Soon after, Prince gets back on stage to perform what might be the best closing, including credits, to any musical ever, possibly any movie. I said what I said and I'm sticking to it. The final 22 minutes of Purple Rain is sheer greatness, and it starts out with the title song, Purple Rain. There's an entire subplot in the movie I didn't mention about Prince's bandmates writing a song for him to perform. It ended up being Purple Rain. He resisted it for most of the movie until the emotional climax, and that's when he gets on stage to perform the song. Prince's 7-minute performance of Purple Rain is legendary. I mean, look at the club owner. He knows he's witnessing greatness. Prince triumphantly leaves the stage. The crowd loved it, and he comes back out for an encore performance. And then he immediately follows it up with Baby I'm a Star. And that's where the movie ends, on a true high note. But don't go yet, because if you stay for the credits, you get snippets of all the songs from the movie. It's honestly worth sitting through the credits. So if you made it this far into the video, you can probably tell I love Purple Rain, the soundtrack and the movie. Like I said, the acting and the script aren't all that, but who cares? This movie is great. I also mentioned before that the copyright police are definitely going to come after me for this video. I don't know what the final product is going to look like when I'm able to actually upload this to YouTube, but just know I tried to put in as many music clips as I possibly could. If nothing else, I want to encourage people to watch Purple Rain. If not for the movie, then for the music. And if you're not interested in the movie, please pull up the soundtrack and listen to it. You'll thank yourself and possibly me later. If you enjoyed the video, hell, even if you enjoy the movie, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll be back real soon. Thanks.
After me, motherfucker!